That's all I have now, and I'm still.
It was 5 in the morning London time, about 8 o'clock local time here. And most people were sleeping. There was a movie playing. I was awake. I had my 2 daughters and my wife. And the plane suddenly pitched and went into a series of steep dives, about 3 or 4 in succession, then made a very sharp turn. The fasten seatbelt sign did not go on, and people were in their seats. A couple of people, bounced up quite a bit there. And this whole episode lasted approximately 1 to 2 minutes. Plane was making some very loud noises. It was struggling to regain control. About 2 minutes later, the pilot came on, and he was out of breath. He could barely talk. And he said, "I'm here to tell you that a madman entered the cockpit and tried to take control of the plane to crash it with the intent of committing suicide for himself and the entire plane." At that point, he was having trouble talking. He was very out of breath, and he stated that they had the man under control and that he thought everything was okay at that point. And we were about 2.5 hours out from Nairobi, and he said, at this point, we're going to go on and land in Nairobi. And that was the extent of it. I heard later from some passengers in first class that this gentleman had wandered up as a 747. He had gone to the upper level and was sauntering around, and then went into the cockpit and turned off the autopilot. This is secondhand, so I can't confirm this, but the passenger up in first class told me to turn off the autopilot and grab the controls and push down, put the plane into a dive. A struggle ensued, and one of the flight attendants broke through the door, grabbed the gentleman, and some other passengers from first class were then able to get him and pull him out and restrain him and then put him in handcuffs. BRITTA is 10, and Anna.
We were on the plane. It was about 5 o'clock this morning, and just suddenly the plane just started shaking really, really violently. Like, you think at first it's turbulence, but then it keeps going and it gets worse. And then the plane was tipping from side to side. Everyone's stuff was just flying everywhere. No one knew what was going on. Some people hurt themselves. A stewardess broke her ankle because one of the trolleys fell on her. People were in shock, basically. There wasn't like hysteria or anything. People were just, just didn't know what was going on. It lasted for about 5 minutes, something like that, but it felt, a lot longer. And then the pilot came on the speaker afterwards saying there's, sorry about everything. There's a madman broke into the cockpit and tried to kill us all. And, you didn't know what to believe. And then he came on again and said, look, everything's under control. It is true, a madman came into the cockpit and did try to crash the plane. Apparently he had some sort of note, like a suicide note with him or something, but that's just kind of second-hand information. We don't know anything about that.
We are not treating it as an attempted hijack as such. Neither are we treating it as a hijack. The information that we have is that a passenger on board, one of the passengers on board, went berserk. He had boarded a plane, British Airways plane from London, which was scheduled to land at Nairobi and then to go to Dar es Salaam. So at about 10:15 this morning, when the plane was preparing to land, one of those passengers went berserk, and the plane landed, but he was restrained and he did not cause much havoc. On landing, he was apprehended by police and taken to Nairobi Hospital for medical examination. He is still under police custody for the purposes of investigation.